Hello, welcome back. For all you just now tuning in, thank you. For all of you who have watched any of my past videos, I thank you as well. As always, I'm here to give you the truth about real estate. That is residential real estate. So please, stick around. I might have some very valuable information for you. My name is JL. I am a real estate professional here in the greater Jacksonville area. However, some of the things that I'm going to be discussing also apply to multiple states and counties and districts and things of that nature and across multiple boards. A lot of the things in the real estate industry tend to be standard or copied throughout different states, so please pay attention. All right, phone number 904-589-4516 for all those who may have any questions or concerns. Either way, feel free to reach out to me. Also, you can email me at jlsalesrealestate@yahoo.com. That's JLSELLS realestate@yahoo.com. So all right, let's get into it. Today we are going to be speaking about, I'm just going to call it advice. Yes, we'll call it advice. What I mean by this is this pertains to both buyers and sellers. I will admit, throughout my time in this industry, I have had some interesting buyers and sellers. And I say this because I will offer valuable advice to them, and then they would disagree, which is fine, because ultimately, buyers or sellers, if they choose to work with me or they ask me to work with them, ultimately they're in control to a certain degree. So, I offer advice, they say no, I move on. I go with whatever they say. But however, I do warn them. Now remember, witness if this goes south or goes badly. Remember, I told you about this. We spoke about this. Now on the flip side, if it works out and we get lucky and all goes well, I'll be the first one to man up and say, you know what? I apologize. That was a good call. All right? So, I'm going to give you one scenario. Actually, I may give you a couple scenarios, depending on how much time I got. First one, I had a seller. Seller wanted to sell their house. House was in great shape. However, the seller did not quite like their master bedroom shower. So he asked me to get quotes. I got quotes. He got quotes. We kind of tag teamed to work it together, and we got a quote to redo the inside of this shower, which was about $5,000 or so. So I told this particular seller, I said, hey, let's hold off on this. Let's go ahead, get the home on the market and see what happens. Now, ultimately, there was nothing wrong with the shower. You know, the shower was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just that he didn't particularly care for it, and he didn't think that someone else would. So, he took my advice, and we listed the property. And lo and behold, buyer came through, looked at the home, liked the home. They didn't care about the shower. The shower wasn't in bad condition, wasn't in bad shape. There was nothing wrong with the shower. This particular buyer didn't say anything about the shower. Now, they mentioned some painting in some other rooms and things like that, you know, minor stuff, which is expected. You know, minor things come up on home inspections. That was expected. So we were able to sell this property without spending the $5,000 on the shower. This particular seller told me, hey, you know what? You was right. I'm glad I didn't tear that shower apart, because it would have cost me money to tear that shower apart and time to tear it apart, put it back together. That's time we would have lost with the home being on the market, which was correct. So this particular seller took my advice, and all went well. So I say to you, if you have a true professional out there, okay, a true professional, please at least listen to their advice regarding the transaction. However, I will tell you, all agents do not know everything. All professionals do not know everything. I'm not going to tell you I know everything. I learn something new every day. But however, there are some things that I've been doing for several years that I know a lot about. Okay? So, when we're talking about these agents or these professionals, please, if you decide to list your home with them, check their resume. Ask them. Tell them to give you proof of how many homes they've sold, how many transactions they had, whether buyers or sellers. Check it out. Now, however, if you get someone that's new or that's just getting started, they may not have that many transactions. I know when I first started, I didn't because I was just getting started. That was years ago. But however, you can still check their resume, check their quality. See how their past transactions went. They're there. They're not hidden. Ask them for it. So, let's talk about the buyers and taking advice. All right, buyers. Once again, make sure that you have a good professional or agent, because everyone that's in this industry, they're not professionals. A lot of them are just agents or sales reps. I myself, I'm a professional. Call me and I'll tell you the difference between the two. So, I'm going to give you a scenario on the buyer side. I had a particular buyer that saw a property and they liked the property. And they told me, oh, I really want this property. I want this property. But however, they wanted me to submit an offer on the property that was $15,000 less than the list price. So, of course, I do my due diligence. I check to see if the property is priced per market value. I run this thing called a CMA, which is a comparison market analysis. It's simply a market analysis. I run that. I check several other things. And then I come up with a number. If I find that this house, for some reason, seems to be grossly overpriced, then yes, we will submit that offer. But if I find that the property is priced to sell and is priced within market value and is not grossly overpriced, I'm going to tell this particular buyer, hey, if you really want this house, I would advise against submitting an offer of $15,000 less. Well, this particular buyer said no. If they want to sell, they're going to take my $15,000 less offer. I said, well, I disagree. Let's flip this around. I would not tell my seller to take an offer of $15,000 less. And might I add, the home had only been on the market for 2 weeks. All right? So, buyer said, nope, don't care. Submit the offer. I said, all right. I submitted the offer, $15,000 less. And of course, I got an instant response of, not going to happen. So, I got back with the buyer, told the buyer the bad news. They said, okay, well, increase about $1,000. I said, well, sir, I don't think $1,000 is going to work. He said, well, increase about $1,000. No, let's count it for $1,000. I said, okay. However, before I could submit the offer again for $1,000 more than what this buyer originally sent in, not only did the home have multiple offers on it, but there was already a contract accepted. So I had to call this particular buyer and give him the bad news. Now, of course, he kind of got upset with me. But I told him, I said, sir, please don't get upset with me. I told you in the beginning this was not going to work. Because sellers know what they have to net to sell their property. If they have a real professional listing their property, that professional would have already ran through the numbers so that the sellers know exactly where they need to be. All right? So I told him, these particular sellers, I'm pretty sure they knew exactly what they had to net. So your offer of $15,000 less, $14,000 less, was not going to be sufficient. So after a couple of days, he didn't talk to me, but after a couple of days, he said, okay, you know what, you're right. Because if I was selling my house, I wouldn't take an offer of $15,000 or $14,000 less either. I said, well, okay, let's find you another property. I didn't say anything else. Now, I was thinking it. Believe me, I was really thinking, didn't I tell you that before? But I didn't say that to him. It's not professional. But I sure said it to myself more than once. So, please, once again, make sure that you have a really good agent or a true professional working your transactions, whether it be on the buyer side or the seller side. And make sure that they are offering valid advice that's not going to put you in the red for you sellers or put you in a situation that's going to cost you thousands of dollars on the buyer side. Okay? Once again, everyone, please verify your documents. Because once again, there are a lot of non-professionals out there. You know what? I'm going to just say it. There are a lot of crooked and shady agents out there. I would hope that there are no crooked or shady professionals out there, because professionals operate in a professional capacity. So I'm going to stick with the agents and the sales reps, because I see most of those that seem to be very unethical and crooked in a lot of the deals. You know, that's their favorite word, the deals that they're a part of. So everyone, just make sure that you know who you're dealing with. And once again, if you have someone that you're working with and you want somebody else to just verify, review your documents, get in contact with me. I'll look at it for you. No problem. I will tell you, if you like, keep working with your agent or whomever you're working with. Because I believe in making sure and ensuring that everyone gets a fair shake at their transaction, whether it be a home purchase or a home sale. All right? I'm not one of these greedy, selfish agents out here. I'll help anyone. So if you want my help, give me a call. 904-589-4516. And no, I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to ask you for anything. Because my reward is simply knowing that I'm able to help someone save hundreds or thousands of dollars. And ultimately, I'm not seeking my reward here on earth. I'll get my reward much later for simply doing the right thing. So, as I said before, here you're going to get the truth. And only the truth. Some people may not like the truth. But however, remember, the truth is the truth. And the truth never changes. Thank you.